Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So today we will deep dive into conditional rendering, how we can render any part of the component on the basis of some condition. So we can do this using LWC if, LWC else and else if. There are some attributes which we can use it. Before jumping into LWC attributes, what is a directive? So directives are special HTML attributes which are corresponding to LWC and that help us to modify the DOM. So we have few attributes over here: LWC if, else if and else directive, and using this we can render any part of the component conditionally on the basis of our data. Now, before jumping into the demo for LWC if and else if directives, we need to first understand what is a getter method. So a getter method is basically we can use to achieve the to fetch the data from the JavaScript for some particular variable. So we discussed in the last session that the LWC component is not two-way directional. That is, you cannot directly fetch it. You cannot directly fetch the expressions into your HTML. Rather, you can do it using the getter methods. So let's say I create a getter method and I create a variable name. So this is a getter method, and using this I can use the isChecked variable into my HTML. Now let's say that on basis of this particular name I want to render some part of my component. So what I can do is I can return a value on basis of this name. Okay. Now let's say that for my name Ram, I want to render that true part, or say for when the name is Ram, I want to print some of his characteristics. Okay, so I will return true over here, and let's say that if the name is Lakshman, sorry, double equal to, so for Lakshman I want to print some other value. So my isChecked variable is a boolean variable which will hold true or false value. Okay, so this is how we can return a calculated expression on basis of some conditions. So this is getter method. Now let's go back to our directives. So we have three directives over here: LWC if, LWC else if and LWC else. Earlier LWC used to support two other directives for the same purpose, which was LWC if true and LWC if false. But I would not suggest to use that, because in the near future this particular directive will be deprecated. So instead of that, LWC has come up with three new directives. So you can use this directive to render DOM elements in the template if any of this expression is true. It can be a JavaScript identifier property, or it can be a dot notation using the object property. So if we have any boolean variable in this object, we can use that as well to conditionally render our elements in the template. So this is how generally the LWC if else if syntax looks like. So if the property 1 is true, the statement 1 will be printed on the screen. If the property 2 is true and property 1 is false, statement 2 will be printed. And if both property 1 and property 2 are false, then the statement 3 will be printed on the screen. So this way we can conditionally render any elements of our choice on the basis of any condition. Okay, now let us see how does that happens. So we need to have a template, and here we can give our LWC if and followed by the expression. The expression again will be into the curly braces. So our variable name is checked. So we will pass this is checked over here, and I'll say my name is. Now if this is checked variable is set to false, so I'll give else if, or I'll give only else. I'll give only else. We only have two conditions, true or false here. So I can give if is checked is true, then it will print my name is Ram. If is checked is false, else it will print my name is Lakshman. So on the basis of any input name what we give, we will have this particular values printed. Now let's deploy our component to the org, and let's see how does that work. I'll just clear the cache and reload. Okay, so initially we will see something printed on the screen because we have a if or else statement. So either of those will be true. So initially is checked will be false because name is set to Salesforce surcharge, supercharge. So initially is checked will be false. So my name is Lakshman should be printed, and as we enter the input, this value can change. So right now we can see that my name is Lakshman is printed because the name is Salesforce supercharge. Now let me enter the different value. So as I enter Ram, the name gets updated to Ram, and the is check as the component again re-renders, this is check will be calculated again, and this particular if statement will be evaluated to true, and it will return true. So when we return is checked is true, so our LWC if section gets called, and LWC else does not render. So the input, the text printed is my name is Ram. So as we can see over here. Now if we change it and print something else, so my name is Lakshman is printed. So this is how we render elements in our LWC component conditionally. So we can give any conditions, and at any given point of time if the condition is changed, the rendering will also change. So that was about today's session. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more videos.